Welcome to Talk Back Natchitoches. Yours truly, Pastor Stephen Harris. And listen, we want to invite Lottie Dottie and everybody, share, like, and invite. And so that we want this to be a blessing to you. So we want to start out by invoking the presence of the Lord. Lord God, how we thank you and how we praise and glorify you alone. You are so worthy to be praised. Lord, the fact that you woke us up this morning and clothed us in our right mind, and it was not because we've been so good and we've done everything that you've told us to do, but it's because of grace and mercy that we're here today. And Lord, we don't take it for granted. We ask that this segment would be informative, inspiring, and impactful. We pray for the sick, the shed-in, and the bereaved. Lord, I want to just call out Christopher Small's family. Lord, please touch them and any other families that have been affected by the transitioning of a loved one. Let them know, Lord, only time will heal that wound. And we just give you praise, glory, and adoration. It is in the matchless and marvelous name of Jesus the Christ we do pray. Amen and amen. Say to you that today they are still signing the petition to relieve the governor and the AG of their position. And so they will be, I think, in the same place at the same time, which is on off of Martin Luther King at the what used to be the Ben Johnson Auditorium, which may still be Ben Johnson Auditorium, but I'm saying that's where they will be. And so if you want to sign that petition, let other folks know so that you can be a part of history making, because when folks don't do the bidding for the people, leave them of their duty before their duties are over. So with that being said, I encourage you to do that. Also, I encourage you that on the 27th, which is Saturday, there is an election, and it is dealing with the Senate race, closed primary. Either you're voting Republican or Democrat, or if you voted no party and was not able to vote for either party, I think you may be able to still vote for one or the other. You just have to say which one you want to vote for, whether you want a Democratic ballot or a Republican ballot. But I am supercalifragilisticexpialidocious happy that I'm joined this morning of Natchitoches. And I'll let him tell all of that, but he is the founder, CEO of a local funeral home and cremation service, Mortuary Moses and Moses, and that is Mr. Leonard Moses. And I say good morning.
Good morning, Pastor. How you doing this morning?
Absolutely marvelous, man. Listen, anybody who do business with us, I'm gonna do business with you. And so you are in the city now, and tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Okay, well, first of all, Pastor, I would like to thank you for having me this morning.
Yes, sir.
And like you said, I was born and reared in Natchitoches, Louisiana. I'm a proud graduate of 1976 class of 1976 Natchitoches Central High School.
Oh, wow.
And with saying that, within the last 2 weeks or so, we did our 50-year anniversary.
Oh, wow. So are you going to be a part of the LNC? Because I think they're part of that.
I hadn't joined, but that's something I'm considering.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so after graduating from high school, I did attend Southwestern Christian College.
All right.
I'm on a track scholarship that was in Terra, Texas.
Wow.
And after
Sammy Fox country.
exactly, you're right, exactly. So after the schooling, I enlisted into the U.S. Army.
Okay.
And from there, I went back to school, and I enrolled in the Commonwealth Institute of Funeral Service. I graduated from there in 1989 and became licensed in 1990.
Yeah.
I served my internship at this Ridgely's funeral home at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
After that tenure, I moved to Baton Rouge and came aboard with the Winfield Funeral Home under the late Dr. Ben D. Johnson. And I worked there for some years. So after 36 years in the industry, I'm still moving forward. I haven't gave up yet. Yes, yeah. So without doubt, I guess you can say that this is my passion.
Yeah, gotta be, man. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think this guy. I think this surely has to be a calling.
Yeah, it's a calling. Yeah.
And you know, to be led by the incomparable late Ben D. Johnson, he was one of the best.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Yeah. And so, how did Moses and Moses Mortuary and Cremation Service begin? And what's the vision behind your business?
Well, I started with opening a funeral home, which is the main office now in Winfield, Louisiana.
Okay.
And it always been a dream, a passion to come back home. So after opening that branch, it opened the doors for me to navigate my way back into Natchitoches area, and so that's how I ended up coming back to Natchitoches.
Okay. So what services do you all offer to families in the Natchitoches and the surrounding communities?
Well, naturally, we do traditional service, cremation, direct cremation, cremations with memorial. That's with the remains present or not present.
Okay.
It's whatever the family desire to do. I follow their lead.
And how important is that to try to accommodate the needs of the family?
Well, first of all, we know that funeral costs go up every year. So pricing, and
Right.
so we have to be transparent with that. And I must say that it's not corporate. That's the difference. So I can reach out and serve people better in that capacity because I don't have that large overhead.
Right.
And I don't have to keep up with what corporate levels are doing. So I think that I can better serve the people like that.
Right. So when you talk about corporate, sometimes corporate has different standards and it may not meet the market of this rural area because it's made their determination from maybe the Shreveport area or the Alexandria or a larger area.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, well, you know, I talked about what sets, well, the next question was what sets Moses and Moses mortuary and cremation service providers, but I guess that's one of them, huh?
Exactly, yeah. And I could be more, personalized, execution, and my overall experiences.
Right. More hands-on.
Exactly.
Like I said, I saw Mr. Johnson. People come in with loved ones that they about to bury, but Mr. Johnson made you feel good about. I guess, lack of a better word, you feel good about losing a loved one, There was another, Herbert Simmons, and I don't know if you ever knew him. He was from the Jonesboro area. His Okay.
Well, I do have a slogan, but it's not that. It's not that one. I feel that this is a blessing,
Yeah.
and then I also believe that we are blessed to bless others.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, even though it's a profession, I do it for my living,
Right.
but I give back by trying to help others.
Right.
And keep them within, you know, where I put it where they could reach it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you're going through, even though I tell people, just like living is real, death is real too. And a lot of times we do everything we can to live, but we don't prepare to die.
Exactly.
And we leave that on other people. And so let me ask you about serving families, right? It can be overwhelming at times. So what is the first step families should take when a death occurs?
Well, the first thing that they should do is secure a legal pronouncement of death. Well, if it's in the home, something would happen naturally, you would call 911.
Right.
The next thing, if a person is under hospice or medical facility, contact the attending nurse or doctor
Right.
to officially verify the time, of death.
Right.
Contact your funeral home of choice to coordinate the transportation of your loved one.
Right. Because somebody has to come and get the remains.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When you done lost a loved one,
Yeah.
especially if you lose a loved one suddenly. Even at having everything down, sometimes if you lose a loved one suddenly, it discombobulates you. You don't know what to do. If it's like I said, if it's on the hospice, the first thing you do is call that nurse or whatever, the attendant, and they tell you that too, and you call them and you get everything, the ball gets to rolling and thing. Two, I say to people, if you got a relationship with a church or whatever the case may be, call your pastor too.
For sure.
Because they can pray and things like that. Sometimes again, it's the pastor until they think about when they having a funeral, who's gonna do it?
Exactly. Well, they would think of their pastors, especially if they church orientated,
right?
Because he walks them through the process anyway, especially like if they're already under, doctor's care. Now it's another thing if it's a sudden or tragic incident. The pastor probably would, be called later.
Right.
And you would think of your pastor first.
Right. So I guess that goes to the next thing is how do you help families navigate the emotional challenges of planning the funeral?
The goal is to shift from feeling overwhelmed, like grief, and try to help take that pressure off of them, and give them that space where they can focus on healing.
Right.
And honoring their loved one. See, grief affects everyone different.
That's right. And so one of the things that a lot of these counselors and things don't understand is that you can very much go to these different funeral homes and leave them a card for grief counseling. Especially when you have some of the deaths like we've had lately, and we've had a few in the community with suicide.
Oh yeah.
And I want you to know, people are not well. People are not held to suicide because they begin to have all kind of thoughts in their mind, and some of the thoughts that's in our mind are thoughts that has been handed down with no biblical can't. It don't hold water, because if salvation is by faith, by grace through faith, then an act of hopelessness doesn't necessarily say that a person is going to hell. You know, we tell people naturally that, oh, if you kill yourself, you're going to hell. You know, you gotta be able to stand on those type of things biblically, because, and I don't want to tell nobody about killing yourself, because how that go on, it's enough for a person to struggle with losing the loved one, but to make them feel like that this person automatically goes to hell. Were they saved? Did they have a relation with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
Right.
You know, and that's one of the things, and I'll be honest with you though, that's one of the things about us telling them you're going to hell that kept folk from killing themselves. Yeah. But now you got youngsters and unchurched folk that say to themselves, you know, if hell couldn't be no worse than what I'm in.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
And so we have to be able to sit down and talk with young people and have some type of So what are some of the funeral planning?
Well, number one, I would think cost, necessities, and convenience.
Yeah.
Am I gonna be able to afford this? Is it necessary that I embalm? Do I have to bury them right away? Convenience. Where am I gonna go? Especially if they don't have a church home.
Right.
Am I gonna be able to use the funeral home? Does it have a chapel that can hold the capacity of my family? If I have a large family. So that's some of the things that are the misconceptions. And then another thing, we know that when it comes to funeral service, especially in the black community, like talking about it, pre-planning, what have you, it's a taboo. It's taboo.
Very living, but we don't want to prepare for death. You know.
Yeah, everybody want to go to heaven,
but nobody want to die. That's right. Well, you know, my good friend and cousin, brother Bishop Roberson is having a workshop dealing with you know, insurance and different things like that, financial plan. And I think it's so important and incumbent upon us as pastors to because I'm doing one where we got the actual plans where they can put everything down, who they want to be the preacher, and then if you got a will, if you don't have a will, this thing has the worst conduct after a person dies.
Correct.
You know, so a lot of misconceptions, like you said. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about how important is pre-planning and what benefits does it provide to the family. And we'll be right back. Well, I did that good. I did that good because his phone rung just at that time. Shucks. That's a good thing. So that meant that we needed to take a break. Yeah, you can, but it's still.
Hey, hello?
Yeah.
Yes, what you got?
What is it, 95.1?
9.
Tell her
go to 959thebounce.com.
Yeah, and she can pick it up digital.
Let Moses and Francis
Hey, listen, you can pick us up on a digital platform. Hold on 1 minute. She'll tell you exactly what to do. Okay?
Here for you with heart.
Anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world.
Ants, roaches, spiders, or any unwanted intruders make
Think
themselves
that's something.
comfy.
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Man, we pick up people overseas.
Fast,
Yeah,
effective,
yeah.
and affordable protection for your home so you can relax, knowing the pests are gone.
See, it's clearer.
Take back control today.
It's clearer.
Call owner
When-
Preston Durr at 318-664-2988.
You want to unlock it?
Terminator Pest Management. Eliminate the problem.
And we are back, and we're talking about there to be pre-planning and what benefit does it provide to the family. And so that's where we at. How important is it, Brother Moses?
Oh, I'm sorry. For pre-plan?
That's right. That's right.
Well, if you pre-plan, you could think clearly.
Oh,
Number
yeah,
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you could put all your wishes in writing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's one of the main things. You can record your wishes without spending a dime.
Right, right.
Or take advantage of the pre-planning.
Right, right.
The myth with that is funerals are highly customized.
Right, right.
You do not have to purchase the most expensive package. You have a choice. Well, natural cremation, or simple memorial service, or significantly affordable options. Pre-planning doesn't always equal pre-paying.
Okay, okay.
You can record your wishes without spending a dime, like I said, or you could take advantage of the flexible payment plans.
Right, right, right.
Versus pre-need, which will lock your prices, today's prices in, but to the future. Like I said earlier, prices of funerals are constantly going up.
And they have to honor that too,
Yes,
right?
yes, it's a contract.
Right,
It's a contract.
and is that contract with a particular funeral home,
Well,
or it's a
yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Okay.
But your loved one could go anywhere they want
Okay.
with that pre-need plan.
Okay.
But the catch is the other
You have to honor
they don't
that?
have it's good for the amount of that
okay.
service.
Okay, yeah.
But they can charge you at their today's service. So in
Okay,
other
I
words,
see.
if I can make you better understand, you can come to me with a $10,000 pre-planned service. Once I said go to another funeral home and they say, well, that's what he charged you back then. That was the day's price. I would accept that policy.
Right.
But my price today may be $15,000. So it's up to the family to
So
pay
you
the
would have
difference.
yeah, that's what
But
I
if you
thought.
stick with the funeral home
that
that did that,
They
then
have to honor that.
at $10,000.
Okay, I
They
see.
can't go up
Right.
or
right.
down.
Right.
Even your family member cannot change it.
Right.
If they decide they want to up it, they
Right,
can. But
right.
they can't go backwards
Right.
and expect to recoup the less. Right. They can't
Yeah.
expect to get anything out of it. It's locked in.
Okay. So, as common as it is right now, and I don't know if this was because of COVID, but there is a lot of cremation that's going on now. So
Correct.
let's talk about cremation and burial services. Cremation has become increasingly popular. And in other cultures, like especially like in Chinese culture, they don't have any problems in cremation. What trends are you seeing regarding cremation versus traditional burial?
Well, number one, family member, the Zion, or the deceased, they had already discussed it with their family. That's what they want. Then the next thing would be expense. Why prepare? Now, if I see that I can't afford a traditional service, then I may have to back down to a cremation so I can get my loved one put away. And so that's the difference in that.
Well, I've seen bodies, and you have to you have to embalm that body in what's the time frame that a person has to embalm a body?
Well, first of all, embalming is not required.
Oh wow.
Yeah, only if you're gonna have, like I said, traditional service, and you're gonna have a place to be.
Yes.
And if you know that you're gonna do this up front, then I don't want to misquote.
Right.
You know, I've been out of school so long.
Yeah.
But I think you may have up to like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Then you have 24 to 36 hours.
Right.
Then embalming must take place.
Right.
Whether I have permission or not. Because now it falls on me as a funeral director.
Right. Then I got to preserve that body.
Correct. And that's, I have to protect the community.
Right.
Yeah.
And so even though that body may be refrigerated, that's not actually preserved, right?
No, sir. No, sir. It's refrigerated. I can hold it, until you give me authorization.
So I guess it's important to know. Are you gonna have people? Now I've seen too, where people decided they're gonna do the cremation, but they go ahead and do the preserving on the body so that they can have a viewing.
Correct.
Because I guess there's a coffin. You can't. Well, I don't know about all that. So
Well, the way that go is that if I know I want to do cremation,
right.
a lot of people would choose cremation and services,
Right.
rather than going to a cemetery.
Okay.
So that's another way of deposition.
Okay.
To use the cremation, then I can earn it and bring it home.
Yeah. Because I noticed that too, and I've done plenty of funerals, y'all. This part that really gets people, and that is the depositing of the body. Some folks
somewhat hard.
Yeah, some folks think that this is the end, but I often tell people, as a farmer, when I plant something, I look for it to come back up again.
Exactly.
Well, that's the same way with when you make a deposit. One of these old days, there's gonna be a great getting up. Amen. Yes, sir. What options are available for families who did we talk about that? Who choose cremation?
The options would be direct cremation. That means we know we're not gonna do anything but cremate. But then you also have cremations with memorial, and then sometime later you plan your memorial service carried out just like a funeral service, but the body isn't present. Or you can do with the body present, and then cremate afterward.
Okay. Yeah. What we just talked about.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I tell people all the time, I watch folk when no disrespect to nobody, but I don't look at bodies, because I try to remember people for the way they were, And as far as for me, y'all get a good look at me, because you won't be looking at me in no coffin. There will be a life-size picture of me, and so all that, because I didn't look. That don't even look like King. That's right, because it ain't me. I'm gone. I've left that body. So anyway,
and see, that's your wish.
That's right.
And it's up to your family to carry it out.
That's right.
But then if you pre-plan it,
that's right, and put it in writing.
Then they know, and you take that burden off of your loved one of trying to make that decision.
That's right.
You have made that decision for them, and all they have to do is see that your wishes are carried out.
That's just like directives. It is so important, y'all, that you let folk know that if you become incapacitated, that you can't answer to what you want done in case you're on a vent or something like that. That is so crucial, because folks they'll leave you on the vent. Money is accumulating on the vent and things like that. My thing is, listen, if there's no, if Jesus rose in 3 days, and there's just, give me 3 days, if it's that crucial, that they saying there ain't no hope. Give me about 3 days. You don't need I don't need no 7 days. If Jesus, I'm just saying me, not my loved one, because they may want to stay there until the machine die, but not me, Let me go, and because that's hard on the family. Correct. To be thinking, I don't know what they would have wanted, So ask that question. What do you want? I remember asking one of my real close friends, if you become like this particular person, is whether you, oh no, I don't want to be like that. And so when the time came, we didn't even have to go through that.
Correct.
God came and got him. Didn't put him on no machine or nothing other thought. God just came and got him. But I knew what to do if that had come.
Right. Yeah. And I know it's hard to let go of your loved one. But one of the things, being in this industry, I come to realize is that we don't want to let them go. Mm-hmm. But like if you let them lie down that ventilation for too long, now you done created a problem for the embalm.
No, wow.
Because now, your body is not functioning on its own. So now you're retaining all this fluid, all this water, they call it edema, and so it swells up. So now the embalmer, surely you can get some of it looks somewhat disconfigured, and then the embalmer get the blame.
Yeah. See, and if people don't come and say that, they because we want the body.
Right.
But
we want them back. We want them back.
But sometimes the problem is that when you retain water, it stretches the skin and things like that.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and the amount of time you want to actually bury this person, settling that skin and things like that may not. So there's a whole lot of cosmetics and things that's going on.
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So how do you ensure that every family wishes are honored and respected?
Actively attention to what they're saying and what they're not saying.
Come on.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's
nonverbal communication. Yeah. So you have to pay close attention. Then you gotta understand their culture, or religious protocols. Yeah. And then you want to try to personalize that service. Yeah. By helping them, planning it out. How did that person live? Mm-hmm. What did they do? Mm-hmm. Do you want to do something that's gonna resemble their profession? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can recall a guy that he was like, oh man, Gremlin night. Everything was about Gremlin. Yeah. So when and I'm sitting there listening to this family when they expressing this to me, and then right away ideas started coming to me. Yeah. I specialized that casket with all the Gremlin stuff in it, and their head panels, even down to that floor. I had floor, the G-Man.
Black and gold, baby.
And gold. And oh Lord, they loved it. They loved it.
Yes. I thought you knew.
And for some reason they just loved it. Everybody that did acknowledgement had to say something about Gremlin, how you acted, and when games going on, you had to be on the phone, so it went over very well. So it's all about personalization. Right.
So I guess I'm gonna go back to myself again. So I won't have to worry about this particular thing that folk I see folk doing, because I won't be having. If I did. And y'all got that coffin on your shoulder and you swinging me and all kinds of stuff like that, I'm gonna get up out that coffin and say, "Boom!"
Sound like you
Because I'm busy.
attending the funeral and shit.
Well, they got that coffin and swinging it and throwing it and stuff.
Yeah.
Man, that person dizzy by the time you know I'm playing. Yeah.
I understand.
So let's take a break. Let's take a break, and then when we come back, let's talk about some financial and practical consideration. Because at the end of the day, we know that's what it comes down to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car.
Because I'm gonna tell you another thing folk do. Folk get a policy on a person, and they want to keep it. They want y'all and then pay the policy for themselves, and you want to keep some of the money. And then another thing, you want to go buy them T-shirts when that money can go toward them folk.
Yeah.
Sure. And you run around here talking about rest in peace. They can't rest in peace because you done took their money and went and had a party with it. Shut up. I'm just saying what I'm saying, y'all.
Yeah,
You know.
and then that's another thing.
Along with the Glow Boys Productions.
Like I say, with the T-shirts, repads, all this stuff.
Yeah.
They do all this before they come
Join
in
us at Morning Star
And make
their
sure that
service.
person is in the ground.
Exactly.
You know?
You do all that other planning your party and all that stuff, but you hadn't paid the funeral bill. Runs
Well,
into that too.
I really don't know how y'all do that, but make sure that person in the ground, whoever is responsible for this person, you know.
It starts with your heart.
Because at the end of the day, if they got a policy, that's what it should be used for.
Exactly.
Then we got folk with doing GoFundMe's, and some folk take the GoFundMe and put it in their pocket and stuff. Shame on us. Please. But you got it. I'm going to talk back now.
238-2446 or visit www.casanat.org.
And we are back. I know this, I'm trying to be serious, but yet I want you to be comfortable about talking about reality, you know.
Right.
But your cost is going up because when you got gas going up, everything else goes up. What advice would you give families regarding funeral budgeting?
As we were speaking, first of all, pre-plan. We don't like to buy life insurance.
Right.
Or the old terminology of burial insurance.
Yeah.
So pre-planning, again, like I say, that's you just putting stuff in writing. But if you pre-need, the word pre-need now, money is involved.
Okay.
Whether you pay for that service in advance, or whether you plan by buying a pre-need plan that you can pay it out over a period of time. And some of the companies that would allow you after a period of you die in the event that it hadn't been paid off, it kicks in just like a regular insurance policy.
Oh, wow.
And then the insurance company will pay off that service for you.
Okay.
So it's very important to get very knowledgeable of that before someone passed. You know, so.
Well, is it just the service? Because, you know, there's a whole lot that comes with that, too, because the burial.
Yeah, I was about to say that. You know, naturally, the funeral home focus on making sure that that service is paid for. But then on the other hand, if the funeral home doesn't own its own cemetery, that's a whole nother expense.
Right.
That's a whole nother expense.
So do you all work with, like, different graveyards or what they call graveyards?
Yes, and keep in mind, that's a whole different expense.
Right.
That's a whole nother business
That's
entity
right.
within itself. So we can't actually pre-plan someone else's business.
Right.
Because that's not our prices and
so
stuff. You know.
what if the business or the cemetery says, okay, well, they can sign a whatever contract with us that this is how much it's going to cost, no matter what, you know.
Yeah. When I was saying that, you bring the thought to me that cemeteries also should be able to do the same thing at the funeral home.
Right.
So they need to put stuff in plan that people can pre-plan their burial. You enough coverage that I think would
carry
over onto that.
And so, you know, recently they had this big thing about the cemeteries had to register with the state, this, that, and the other, and that may be one of the reasons that they can't do, because they're having to pay certain amounts of money and all kind of stuff like that, which I just figured it was a money grab, personally.
Yes.
You know?
Well, they do have to register with the state.
But churches are not in the business of.
But no, I think they know. But if they got a cemetery, they falling under those guidelines too.
Yeah, some of them are.
Yeah.
But for the most part, churches are not in the business of making money burying people.
Right. I understand.
Business that's their business to bury folks. That's totally different. But most churches are just trying to get their members in the ground.
Yeah.
You know?
Now I could think back on traditionally that when it comes to the church, back in the day they used to have what you call a burial plan.
That's right.
If you are in that church and whatever monies you interject into that part of it, then yes, you know you're covered. Right. But you don't see much of that anymore.
Well, our thing is that if you're a member in good standings, that you're guilty of time, talent, and treasure, you don't have to worry about nothing. We're gonna make sure you're in the ground. Right. You know.
Yeah,
but what about the ones who want to bury in your particular cemetery, and they don't do that, and the first thing they're concerned about is, you know, my loved one was here and they did this. Listen, what about the ones who do what they're supposed to do? You know, and listen, when the COVID hit, man, they were burying folk everywhere, and so that's the other thing.
Members was donating their plots.
That's
to
right.
To other family members.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I think what needs to happen on that, they need to go back and maybe look at that, because there's going to be some problems when that particular person passes away and they say, hey, but you donated your plot to your daughter, to this, that, and the other, and they're going to think that they're still. You're right, but that's how we think.
They're gonna have to repurchase.
That reminds me, and you know, we kind of off of our script, but in some areas now, they're being able to stack and vary.
Yeah, I was about to say that. But then I guess that would fall under the guidelines of that cemetery. Now, when you say that, automatically I start thinking VA.
Oh yeah!
Cemetery.
Oh wow!
They do that. You can your spouse. You know, they would bury you low enough that when come time for your spouse, then they can put you on top of your spouse.
Right.
But then as I visualize, I also, when I look back at your older cemeteries, where they done put a vault down, I noticed that sometimes they'll come back and put a vault on top of vault.
Wow.
You know, that's another way that I haven't seen it too much lately, but that's one of the things that I know that were taking place at one time. In some of your older cemeteries.
Well, it's like in, I wish that all the cemeteries was much like that of the one there in going toward Granicourt, because of the fact that when it come to cutting those things,
Perpetual
they just right. They just run over
Yeah,
with the mold.
perpetual care.
Right.
Yeah.
And then as it pertains to all them flowers everywhere, man.
Right. Mm-hmm.
black. Anyway, let's roll on a little while longer. Finance, and at the end of the day, we as black people, we seem to we care more about living, and I think you ought to.
Sure.
But we ought to understand that one day, if we keep living, that we're gonna die.
Yes, we are.
And
Once it's
you're
appointed.
saying that you can get this out the way by doing pre-needs.
Right. Which takes, trust me, it takes the burden off your loved one by pre-planning.
Well, what pre-need arrangements are available for those who want to prepare in advance?
Well, when you pre-need, actually, it goes through insurance. Customer knows that their money protected.
Right.
And then on the other hand, it also protect the funeral home.
Mm-hmm.
You know where you're gonna reach back and claim that pre-need.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
that's the advantage to that, because me personally, if a person would pre-plan or pre-need, because let me make sure everyone understands this, pre-planning
And
is
pre-need.
nothing but
Right.
paperwork.
Right.
Pre-need means money is involved.
Right.
So if you pre-need with me, I'm definitely want to go through an insurance
That's
company
right.
again, so you know your money is
It's
protected.
protected, yeah.
You know where it is.
Mhm.
Then I'm gonna in turn give you a paid up policy. So you know you're gonna have your file, I have my
Right.
file.
And it's a paid up policy.
Even if you finance it through an insurance company.
Okay.
You know, so after a period of time, it's still gonna kick in.
Right, it's gonna pay up.
And pay it out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's the advantages there. Then, like you say, we know we gonna pass, but then now you're saving money. It's on the other end. It ain't coming down. It's not getting cheaper. It's constantly going up. The average cost of a service is $10,000, and
That's right.
it's easy to go 13, 15,000 easy.
That's right.
You know.
Yeah. And by the way, let me just hit this. If you out there doing a whole lot of stuff, gang banging, dope dealing, and things like that, get you a policy too.
That's right.
Get you two things. Get you some money just in case you go to jail, and get some insurance policy. Because if you don't come asking me for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because you living that kind of life.
And it's gonna lead to what you just say.
Yeah.
The jailhouse,
Yeah.
the grave.
Yeah.
That type of lifestyle. It's no other way. Very few come out,
Right.
take that money and invest it into something else and go into
Shoot.
business.
Give me.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying
Right,
telling nobody
right.
to do that. I'm saying that's what they
Right.
do.
That's right.
You know,
If you're smart about doing things, at least have some money to back. Again, what about community and education to our community? What things do you do to workshops and things like that?
Pastor Harris was saying that before I answer that question. I would I'm setting up something now that I'm gonna bring forward, and I'll get back with you when I put it together.
Okay.
I'm trying to put a seminar together.
Yes.
To meet with local ministers.
Okay.
And come into the church. And educate the congregation on these very things that we're talking about, so they can be enlightened ahead of time. And I'm gonna say this as well. Funeral directors. That's a ministry within itself.
Oh yeah.
You know, so cause you gotta be compassionate. You know, you gotta know how to deal with these people in different circumstances. And and then you sitting on the other side of the desk, a person can tell whether you compassionate or you or are you just kind of gouge.
Right,
You know? So they could tell the difference. So it's very important that the funeral director work closely with the ministers in their community.
Well, because one of the things that pastors and preachers and things deal with is people coming in, don't have any type of insurance, things like that. They want the church to basically, can you help with the cost? And I think that there's some ideals to help some churches.
And that's one of correct, and that's one of the things that I'm gonna bring forward, because I'm trying to put a plan together where you can do a group plan.
And that's right, and that's a group.
Yeah,
insurance has a group plan.
Right, exactly. And then with working with the churches, if you come through your church and you do that plan, well, you're gonna have the money to bury yourself.
That's right.
But then guess what? The church gonna also be part of the beneficiary.
That's right. That's
but then money is left to the church as well.
A lot of the Catholic people do that.
Yeah, so that's something I'm working on, and I'm going to bring to the community and offer that.
And I know for sure there are a lot of quote-unquote black churches, black pastors who really, really need that, because they're tired of having to fight with loved ones, and you got your child who didn't want to go to church or anything. So, by the way, that's what the funeral home is for, to go to church when they die. That's what the funeral home is for. Yeah. Let them go to the funeral home, the chapel, you know.
Correct.
So,
but that's one of the things I think will work real well. Again.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to participate in that.
Right.
But we're trying to open avenues that we can better serve you.
Come on.
Without, putting you in a financial bind. So I'm definitely going to get back within. I'm already working on it. I'm already working on it. Well, so man, that's something I'm going to bring forward.
Please include me, because these are some of the things that I've had to deal with pastors with. Right. And we talk about it all the time. Right. Our organizations talk about these particular things. And so, too, on another subject is about the important care support and things like that.
Yeah, we're going to do that as well. As a matter of fact, I have a group of ministers that I'm talking with right now that we can do grief counseling in the home, in the facility, funeral home rather. Right. Or wherever you would like for us to do it. But that's one of the things we're going to do, aftercare grief counseling.
And I was attending a funeral on last weekend when you had probably some young folk, because this young man, wonderful young man, but tragically lost his life. You could tell that the young people were struggling with it. And a lot of times in blacks, you'll get through it, just give it to the Lord. But how can I give something to the Lord when I don't know how to do it? Right. Because every time I try to give it to him, I take it back before I even leave, So I think it's so important that we offer and let folks normalize that it's all right to not be all right, and there's somebody who you can talk to.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. And everyone needs someone to talk to sometimes. Yeah. Even myself. Yeah. Because
especially when you seeing this.
Right, and we can become overwhelmed.
That's right.
With this as well. Yeah. Because you're letting people cry on your shoulder, and if you're sincere about it, yes, it'll affect you too. Right. We not so hard or so professional.
Because when we stop feeling the pain, how do we really minister to the ones who are coming in? And I know we're taking money, but people know when you're just taking my money
Exactly.
and when you're really concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Exactly, and like as our professional, and you know, and a lot of times I will call it, but everything is not about the dollar bill.
Right.
You got to care about people. You got to care.
So
I wouldn't want to do this
Come
if I
on.
didn't care.
come on.
I just couldn't do it.
So Mr. Moses, I want to thank you for joining us.
Yes,
But
sir.
is there anything that you'd like to say in closing?
Well, I would like to say that I'm glad to be back home to offer my services to the people of Natchitoches Parish and surrounding areas. My heart is still in Natchitoches, which is one of the desires I wanted to come back here. And don't be afraid to reach out to me anytime. I'm willing to talk with you. I'm willing to help you plan. So don't hesitate. If you have questions, please give me a call.
And you're in Natchitoches Parish now.
Yes, sir.
And where's your location?
I'm
You have
located-
any phone numbers?
Yes, I'm located at 106 Brickyard Road. That's Suite A. Here in Natchitoches. It's adjacent to the what's that, Christian
Christian
Outreach.
Outreach, yeah.
Christian Outreach Center. So that's where I'm located
Okay.
at the time, right?
Any phone numbers you like to
Yes,
give?
the number is 318-209, or you can reach me at 318-302-9358. And I'm not reluctant to also give you my personal cell number, 318-266-6165. So don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here for you.
Location, Winfield and Natchitoches.
Natchitoches, right.
Well, God bless you all. God keep you. It's my prayer. I love you, and you can't do nothing about it.
There you go. Hey, thanks,
They're probably
Thanks for
the
that.
same person. They're probably the same person. Listen, folk gotta understand. These people support the station, so we support them.
Hello? Good morning.